Okay, so you would think if I'm just talking to myself, I would be completely comfortable, but I'm not. It's crazy. Like, I think what I'm realizing just by me stopping the video before I can even say my name is how I have so much left to grow in myself because I am very uncomfortable with myself. Um, I don't know what it is, but me looking at myself has always been a hard thing, and especially when I'm depressed, mirrors are like my worst enemy. And what I've been noticing lately is I will avoid mirrors at all costs. Like, if there's a mirror, I'm going the other way. I literally at work, I'll go to wash my hands and I'll go like this. Like, close my eyes and won't even look at the mirror. And I think it's just because I'm afraid because I don't want to see. Because when you look at, your eyes are the portal to your soul. So when you look at yourself and you look at yourself in the mirror, you can't lie to yourself. Like how you can go on Facebook and be like, I'm so happy, take a picture. When you look at yourself, you can't lie to yourself. All the truth comes out. And I think if I was really honest with myself, I would say I'm in a really hard place in my life right now. Um, my mom just passed away. It's really hard. Hardest thing I've ever done. So it's like, it just, all those 7 steps and stuff is just complete bullshit. Like, denial and anger and whatever, depression and bargaining. It's just like, it's not like that. It's no linear line of how you grieve. Like, it's just so real, I guess is the only way I can describe it. It's just your emotions are everywhere. You're hopping back and forth. And it's not necessarily that you even will go through those stages. It's just crazy to think I will never be able to talk to my mom again on the phone. Like, every Christmas, there will be no apple nut muffins. And if you haven't tried apple nut muffins, I think those are the best things ever. It's really hard. I miss her so much. Like, I remember how I used to complain all the time about how annoying she was and how she was a nag and all of these things. And, like, man, I promise you that, like, if I could just hug her one more time, the things I would give up to just hug her one more time and tell her that I love her. Like, it's so crazy because, like, it just is so surreal. It's crazy to just one day have someone and then you see them every day and you just get so used to them. You get so comfortable. You feel like life is just never gonna change. You never expect, like, in your head that one day this person's just gonna be gone. That's true, but, like, the way I was living and the way I feel like we live as a society is we take so many things for granted. And no one's perfect. Like, my mom by no means was a saint, but she was a really beautiful person who was really there for me, and I really fucking miss her. And I sometimes try to forget that it's even real. Like, I go to work and sometimes I'll forget, like, oh, my mom's not here anymore. But then, like, something will happen. I'm like, let me call this girl. Because me and my mom would always like, hey, girl. Whenever I picked up the phone, hey, girl, how are you? And, it's not there. I'll go by. I'll get off on the same exit where I used to live. Now I live in Lake Elsinore, and she lived in Riverside. And I'll go off that exit and drive past the apartment complex, and just to know that she's not there, it's crazy. It's like one time, and it's just, I can't even really explain it. Just cherish people while you have them, even if they don't pass away. cherish every moment. Always have the opportunity to, if you have the opportunity to say I love you, say I love you. I say I love you so much. Like, every time I'm at work and before I say goodbye, I want to say I love you to the person, because I don't know if my mom left knowing that she was 1,000% loved, 1,000% wanted. Reading through some of her old writings that she had when we had to clean out the apartment, you could tell that she was a very heartbroken, sad woman, and she lived so much of her life. Like, if someone was like asked by someone like, what was Stella Cole like, they wouldn't say like, oh, she was a sad, depressed woman. They'd be like, she was happy all the time. She was the life of the party. That was my best friend. That was my support system. She would call me Monday, Wednesday, Friday, make sure I was okay. Like, everybody loves her. My mom had such a beautiful personality, a beautiful soul, but I feel like she spent so much time trying to impress everyone and trying to be what everyone wanted her to be, and she just sunk into this hole. And when she needed people, they weren't there for her. They weren't, not everyone, but a good amount of people. And I feel like she got so tired of, she played that role until she couldn't play it anymore. And once she couldn't play it anymore, you know, she just let go, basically. Like, even up until the moment she passed away, I didn't really know that she was sick, because she, on the outside, you know, she always kept it positive and bright, and I knew she was sick. I shouldn't say that, but I didn't know how sick she was, because she hid it so well. She never complained if she was in pain. She never really, obviously she had bipolar disorder, so she would have her highs and lows and stuff, but nothing to like the point of thinking it was abnormal, you know? So it's just crazy when someone goes, like, your emotions are everywhere. And I know probably most of this video doesn't make any sense, but it just feels good to say that I miss her. It feels good to let out that cry. I feel like I spend so much time like trying to prove I'm okay, because like when someone dies, people are worried about you. Like, especially since I live on my own, people think I'm going to die. Like, people think I'm gonna roll over and just not get up out of bed. And like, there have been times where I have wanted to do that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there are days it's hard to get to work. Like, it's hard. Like, I will get up at 7:30 every morning, and I won't be able to get out of my bed until 8. And I'll be leaving the door at 8:45, and I live 15 minutes away from my work, and I almost never get there before 9 or like 8:58. Like, I'm always like rushing to get there, and it's just, you know, you're running on a different time. Like, you do realize time. Like, right now it's 10:14. Like, I should be sleeping. I should be getting ready for bed, and here I am making this video. But at the same time, it's just, you have to let these emotions out. I have to let them out. I mean, it's good to be brave and strong, and you're still strong if you let your emotions out. You're not weak if you cry, you know? I think society has this thing where there's this specific kind of way to grieve, and over time it's going to get better, and not everyone does that. And I don't really think over time it gets better when you lose someone. I think over time maybe you don't cry as much, but like, I think for me it's always going to come in waves. It's always going to be like, wow, I miss her, and then maybe I'm okay, and like sometimes I catch myself smiling, like I'm smiling now, and that's not insincere. I am a happy person. I'm just going through a really hard time and navigating through something that I've never been through before, and there's no guideline, no rule book. People try to be there for you and be like, oh, you know, I love you, and I'm so sorry that it happened, and I'm here, but they can't really be there for you. Like, there's no way to describe it. It's just, no one can really understand unless they've been through it. That's the only way I can say. It's such a unique experience. Oh, sorry. It's such a unique experience. There's just no way to describe it. And all I can say is I'm doing the very best I can. And some days I will cry and I will break down. And some days I will be able to just be okay and look like I'm fine on the outside. But in general, I see life in a very different way. I'm not who I was literally a couple months ago when my mom passed away. I am so different. Like the way I look at life, so different. I'm so much more appreciative, so much more thankful, and so much more bold, because when you lose someone, especially like your mom or a parent, it just shows you how short life is. And like me only being 22 and losing my mom, like I just feel like it just, I'm young and all of this happened, and in a way, like, I don't want it to be something that wears me down or breaks me down and I can't function anymore and I'm so depressed I can't get out of bed, and I will have moments like that, but overall I don't want that to sum up this experience for me, because I know my mom would want me to be strong, and I know even though she's not physically here, she's here with me, and her spirit is like encouraging me and keeping me strong. Like, she's like, I hear her like telling me like, Erin, baby, like, just keep going and you be strong, and life is hard, but just keep going and be successful. And she's like, be the things that I wanted to be and I can't. Like, she tells me like, you are so much stronger than me. And and that's what I want other people to feel. I want people to feel strong. Even when you're weak, you can be strong. One weak moment doesn't define your whole life. And I think being emotional is okay. So I think it's okay. And I want to show people, like, to let our emotions out, because I feel like people spend so much time trying to be perfect, so much time trying to, and look at me right now. Like, I'm not perfect. My hair is a mess. This makeup is 8 hours old. Like, I should have tried to do something, but I didn't. And it's okay to be imperfect. We are human. We are not perfect. Like, it's okay. It's what makes you beautiful. And I just want to embrace this experience like anything. Like, I remember one time I read a quote, and it was like, this guy, he posted it, and he was like, even though I'm heartbroken right now and I'm going through all this, I'm so happy that I am, because at this moment, like, I feel so alive, I feel so human. And when we embrace our emotions, we get our humanity back. And that's what I feel. I feel like I was going through life cold, distant. I didn't realize how closed off I had become from society, how much I was focused on my image. And now, since my mom died, those things don't matter to me, because, if someone really cares about me, they'll see inside me, they'll see my heart. And I know that I'm not perfect. I know there's times where my bipolar is going to get the best of me. It's going to take over. There are times where I'm going to cave to it. But there's going to be so many more times where I'm going to rise above it. I'm going to hold my ground. I'm going to fight it, and this is what my life is. These are all these moments make my life. This moment makes my life, and I have to just get through it. And I don't want to even just get through it. I want to conquer it. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I hope that this is what this video blog inspires out of me, and I really do feel like this is a stepping stone of changing my life. Thanks.